All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Octavian, and this is 100 Casts episode 47, I think. It's just adding one. I don't see why I always get so confused by the numbers every time. It's literally just the last one plus one. But anyways, whatever number this one is, and I'm hoping it's 47 because I will feel very silly if it's not. I'm very excited to show you guys this match because not only do we have some interesting champions that aren't played too often, well, interesting champion and a champion that's played in Jarvan top. You don't see that too often. And Brand mid. Brand is like a rare Pokemon, and you're always really excited when you catch one. I very rarely see Brand, and he's one of my favorite champs. I really like him. I actually have a video on my channel called Why You Should Play AD Brand, and you should go check it out because it's a good video. I liked it. I liked making it. It was really fun. And you should actually play AD Brand for all the reasons that the video lists. If you want to find out, go watch. But the other reason why I'm really excited to bring you this video in particular is because of some of the names on some of these teams. Honestly, they're wonderful. We have the Tristana is Split All Day, which is just a great name. The person who sent this one in is Commando Yi, who of course is playing Master Yi, and then we have Best Xerath QC, who's playing Xerath, and we have Jarvan Thy Gay, or Guy, I can't quite read that, I'm thinking it's Thy Gay, knowing the League of Legends community, who is playing Jarvan. It's like the perfect storm of people who have names for their champions that they play. For a little while, I changed my name to Aatrox, as a pun, Aatrocks, as in like rocks, the minerals. Yeah, I like puns a little bit too much. Anyways. Ooh, looks like we might have some level 1 action here. Morgana catching out Split All Day right in the bush. However, there's the Eye of the Storm going to shield up that Tristana, keep her healthy. She flashes away, and that is traded for an exhaust from the Janna. So that is a 1-for-1 summoner trade there, but the exhaust is certainly worthy of trading a flash down in the bottom lane there. Tristana, though, is a fairly safe AD carry, and Janna is probably the safest support around, especially once they hit those levels 2 and 3 and get all of her peeling abilities, and Tristana gets a rocket jump. So it's going to be difficult for them to take full advantage of that, but it does mean that Tristana can't play quite as aggressively as perhaps she'd like, and this is probably why we don't see Brand too often looking here in the middle lane. He's already poked down to half health because he has no mobility and he's very slow and he has no way of dodging away from those Xerath Qs, which keep getting charged up and thrown his way. Very nice Xerath play, even just 3 minutes into the game. I think he's landed every single skill shot that I've seen him throw, which has been 3 or 4, so well played already by the Xerath, garnering for Purple Team 100 gold lead. How can they ever fail? There's another skill shot, hitting. This is going very well for Xerath here, though to be fair, he doesn't have a CS lead yet. Ooh, Morgana playing up a little bit, trying to go aggressive here, getting poked down, and the binding is dodged out, so it's not even traded back at all. And Morgana goes to about a third hit points. That's not good. Mass Chaos now getting pushed out by Best Xerath. Back and back. Taken all of that harass, but he's managed to stay relevant in CS. He is 15 to 16 right now, and you know what's interesting? Top lane is interesting. The camera's not there, but I'm still interested in it. We've got a Jarvan. We've got a mid lane gank, though, by Guessed a Number and Max Chaos. Going in onto Best Xerath. He flashes over the walls. Commander Yi's here with Ghost running, and red buff as well. There goes the Brand. He falls right over. Now Guessed a Number is in trouble being chased by Commando Yi, but he's got too many spins of that, what's that? A halberd. Yes, that's the name of that item, a halberd, for Commando Yi to continue that chase. And he's going to push up the minion wave here in Brand's absence. Try and get it under the tower. Sorry, I haven't casted in a few days now, so it's just a little bit rusty. K-Style Black, a little bit in trouble as well. This is Morgana. Eaten through all the way to her last biscuit there. She still hasn't eaten that last one. Saving one more cookie, but being forced to burn a lot of those biscuits because she's playing rather aggressive. And it's not really paying off, I gotta say. Well, it is sort of. It's not paying off in terms of health because Tristana and Janna are both very high on health, and that rhymes. Tristana and Janna. I like that. It's a good lane combo. But Caitlyn has a 15 CS lead. That is double the CS that this Tristana is currently rocking. Up in top lane, speaking of rocking, we have Jarvan Thy Gay going in onto Shock, and Shock is turning it around! I did not expect Ryze to win the early 1v1 against a Jarvan, but Ryze did, and that is 2-0 for Purple Team. And a 1-0 up in top lane for Ryze, which is not good. Giving Ryze an early kill is like giving him an extra 5 minutes of... It's like speeding the game up by 5 minutes for that Ryze, because eventually Ryze will scale, and Ryze will get items that make Ryze do Ryze things later on in the game. But if you give him early kills, it makes it so that that happens sooner, and there's Tristana going in. The rocket jump does land. Knockup lands from Janna. Flash from Morgana, though, going to keep her safe from this horsey running into the lane to try and make a gank happen. But that is Summoner's Burned from Purple Team. Both flashes down, Caitlyn and Morgana. But Morgana turns around, lands the binding. Really good damage coming out from the Caitlyn. Beautiful dark binding, and it finally pays off for Morgana. Caitlyn gets a kill up onto the Janna here. She has a 20 CS lead as well, and Morgana's not done. Binding doesn't quite land, though, so Morgana is done. Not by her own choice, because Split All Day did do a very nice sidestep there in the binding. And speaking of Split All Day, he's going a little bit aggressive, tossing out the explosive shot. That is what that is called. The other one is rocket jump. Sorry, I told you. I'm rusty, I haven't casted in a little while. And Morgana coming around behind the minion wave, looking to get a binding there. Throws it a little bit wide, though. And turning around with the explosive shot, Tristana does some good damage onto Caitlyn, but is forced to jump away. Doesn't want to go with the 2v1, even though the binding is down. And in mid lane, we nearly have level 6. Both of them are very close, and that is going to be an explosive level once it comes around. John is back down in bottom lane, level 4 to the enemy team's level 5, and Split All Day is very low on health, but if they can play this right, Black Shield and Net, they are taking no chances against that Janna Tornado right there. Both of their defensive abilities used to dodge that one out, and Mass Chaos getting stunned up and brought to half health here. This is a very well-played Xerath so far. He's getting pushed in, but I don't think I've seen him miss a skill shot. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and he still doesn't miss a skill shot. Beautifully done by Beth Xerath QA, and now we have shot going in. Again, Jarvan Gay going into the Cataclysm, holding him right there, and I think Ryze is not... He flashes after Ryze. Desperate Power ends, and maybe... Where's the Q? He doesn't have mana for Q, but guess the numbers here, and he doesn't need Q. He's in range to drop the auto attack onto him, bring him down, but Commando Yi is running out from the Tribush. He has the red buff. He puts a ward over the wall just in case he flashes. That is very well done. It didn't really pay off, but it was well done, and now he's going into Meditate. He's surviving the damage, and guess the number, doesn't have any mana to knock him out of the Meditate. Now he's got a red buff, and he's chasing after him, and he gets the double kill. He is on a killing spree. Well done, and that's really bad for Blue Team. At least, that's really bad. Because Master Yi, like Ryze, will get rolling as the game goes on, and the more kills you give him, the less time he needs to get to that point where he can just right-click on people and suddenly they're gone. Oh, sorry about the few frame drops there. I'm not entirely sure what caused that. Fraps has been acting up again. It seems to do this every few weeks. Fraps just decides that it wants to have some sort of new problem, or maybe it's low replay. I don't know. Though actually I think this was an op.gg recording. Riot really needs to come out with a replay system of their own, but I digress. We will move back into the game itself and talk about some of the items here. There's a Jarvan going with the Brutalizer up in the top lane. I'm not too terribly surprised. I was kind of expecting him to go fairly heavy into damage, since most top lane Jarvans do, at least in the early game. That Brutalizer will mean that he's going to be able to do quite a bit of damage to Ryze here. But, I mean, Ryze has his tier already stacking up, and he's got the pieces of his Catalyst, so he's on the way to reaching that point where he's going to be very tough to deal with. I mean, he's already tough to deal with. Ooh, bringing Jarvan down to half of his hit points there, just throwing out his abilities pretty much on cooldown whenever he feels like it. He's got mana pots, he's got biscuits, he's got a tier of the goddess. He's going to be able to sustain back that mana. Split All Day now might be in trouble going in. Morgana ulti, burned, rocket jump away, and Janna is the sacrificial lamb, popping Monsoon to try and keep the enemy team away, but it cannot keep them away forever. Tristana with rocket jump, and there's the right of the arcane, and again, this guy just doesn't miss. He goes down in the middle lane, Brand falling to the Xerath, and up in top lane, though, Jarvan is at least winning that lane. If not in terms of CS, in terms of the fights. He seems to be winning every single one, except for that kind of odd first one, at like level 2 or 3, that the Ryze turned around and got the kill onto him with. But he's going to be able to push up onto the tower, take a few more minion waves, and then fix that CS gap, and guess the numbers going in onto best Xerath, but I don't know if this is the best decision. The Q lands, he goes in with the ulti, the W does not. Who will win this fight? The double buff is burning. The red buff is burning onto Xerath. And he turns around and gets the kill. Well shot. My lord, does he miss skill shots? I think I've seen him miss one out of the corner of my eye at one point. I'm not sure though, so I'm not going to call it right now, but I'll be sure to let you know as soon as I see him miss his skill shot, if that does indeed happen. And Tristana gets bound up right out of the bush. Morgana doesn't have ult to follow this up though, so it's just going to be a bunch of damage, not a kill. But Split All Day is down at half health, however K-Style is as well down below half hit points, and much farther below half hit points than this Tristana is, and we have a Brand roaming from the middle lane. Fairly well warded all up in that river though, and Caitlyn's actually just going to go and start a fight with him. The binding lands, the stun is dodged, and there's the ulti, but it doesn't bounce to Morgana. Caitlyn what? Brand gets the kill. I didn't expect him to win that, but Brand ulti does a lot. And Brand's passive is also surprisingly large in the amount of damage it can do. And for those of you not in the know, oh, nice stun. Lands onto guest a number in mid lane. Best Xerath. I thought that one had missed. I thought it was going to miss. I was thinking it was going to miss. I thought that Hecarim was going to stand to the side, but I guess I am not faithful enough. And there is Ryze getting beat down by the Jarvan. Jumps in with Cataclysm and just holds him there, and you will stay for your beating, sir. And beats him into the ground. Actually takes the ground and knocks it up into a circle around him so that he may better beat him into it. Down in bottom lane, we have Tristana and Janna, the wonderful rhyming dynamic duo of bottom lane, pushing up onto the tower and bringing it down as quickly as they can. But we have a gank here from Hecarim going into the middle lane. The stun does not land onto Best Xerath, and he's heading towards the bush, but he's not going to get there. Hecarim brings him down, shut down. Now Commando Yi in the top lane. He has his ulti running, and there is nowhere for Jarvan to go. He falls over. And I love that his name is Jarvan Thy Gay. Not that I approve of the name, but I love that his name has Jarvan in it, because I can say, and there's Jarvan, and you don't know whether I'm talking about his name or the champion, because it's both. Porque no les dos. Down in bottom lane, we have Tristana heading on back to base, and middle lane we have Ryze popping Desperate Power and chasing in under the tower after the Brand, and the ulti pops onto him, but it's not going to be quite enough. This Ryze is fairly tanky. He's finished off his Catalyst. He's working on that Route of Ages. He's got some hit points under his belts. And we've got a tower being pushed. This is going to be the first tower of the game falling. There's no one around to stop this. In fact, they're going to wait for it to kill off some more of the minions before they finish it off, because why not? Why not deny that gold to Tristana? There's no point in letting her get it. Guessed a number going in, but it's a 1v2, and he didn't know it. He gets snared up, he gets stunned up, and he gets brought up to heaven, or probably sent to hell, actually. Wherever it is that the demon horse goes. Probably hell, if such a thing exists in Valoran, which is for those of you who don't know of the lore, which is probably all of you, because who pays attention to the lore, is the name of the continent that the majority of the lore takes place on. I think all of it, actually. I don't know. Split All Day, caught there and snared out, now being bound up by the Morgana ulti, but once again, Janna is the sacrificial lamb, this time going down to Morgana in a shutdown, going over to Jarvan up in the top lane against this Master Yi, being chased out by Shock, though, and he's going to go down, and that is just another great name, Shock. I just love the names in this game. Guessed a number. I think literally everyone in this game has a really good quality name. It doesn't have tons of X's and random numbers and references to obscurity in its, I don't know. I have a thing where I don't like names that have lots of X's, because I can't say them good in casting. What am I supposed to say? XXX Turtle Man XQXX is up in top lane pushing the tower? No, that's not very brief. That would take, I could say his name and a team fight would be over by the time I've finished saying his name. But I digress. I've been complaining a lot this shoutcast. I'm going to stop complaining. Shock is pushing the tower up in top lane, and Shock is bringing the tower down in top lane. 3-0 turret lead for purple team. And looking at the gold, which I haven't done up till this point, but probably should have, they are 7,000 ahead. That's a lot. That's a lot of gold to be ahead at not even 15 minutes into a game, especially considering that they're not going to, stop scaling. Commando Yi up in the top lane, going in onto Jarvan. He alpha strikes the ulti from Hecarim and then goes into meditate. He's surviving. He is thriving. Shock does not get away. The burn from Brand brings him down as Master Yi falls to the Jarvan. Brand, having roamed up from mid lane to help out his friends, guessed a number now, might be in a little bit of trouble. No, not going to clear out the pink ward with the help of his friendly Janna. But down in bottom lane, Tristana is all alone, and Buster Shot is going to shoot away the Morgana. She ults, but it's very briefly lived. And there's Ace in the hole, but it's not quite enough. Needed a little bit more, just a little bit more, but sadly Caitlyn did not have that little bit. And my god, this guy doesn't miss. I will stop harping on that. Down in bottom lane, we have a push going on from the bottom lane of purple team, the AD carry and the support. They're going to bring down a turret as Mass Chaos misses the stun onto Best Zareth, and there he missed one, but he didn't miss the other two. But sadly, he did miss one, and there's the flash. I'm not going to qualify that as missing because you can't help it if your opponent's flash sometimes. And Shock going in onto the top lane. Desperate Power lands the prison as he flag and drags over the wall, and that is a glitch, I'm assuming. Unless Morgana got a new passive or something. Oh god. Well, hopefully that resolves itself fairly quickly as we see Morgana going for a little bit of a subterranean adventure throughout the jungle. Whee! Mass Chaos now sitting in the base with that double buff swirling around him. He don't care. He getting items. But he maybe should care a little bit. Purple team with Commando Yi here is going for that dragon camp. And, you know, I don't think there is a Commando Yi skin. Maybe this guy's just being very preparatory, because it is certainly possible they release a Commando Yi skin. I could see that working. Or maybe there is one. I don't know. Yi has like 8 skins, so I don't know every single one of them, even though I probably should. Double Golem camp going over to Janna and Tristana. I love saying that lane comp, as K-Style Block might be in trouble. The binding misses, but he's managed to juke away well enough, or just simply walk away, I suppose, well enough from Brand. Brand having only the tier 1 boots, whereas Morgana has completed those Ionian boots of lucidity, which I'm honestly a little bit surprised at. I expected her to go boots of mobility. The majority of support Morgana, not Janna. Janna's on the other side. Do enjoy picking up those boots because it makes it easier to engage. You can use that movement speed to get in range for a snare and get a pick off or engage a team fight for your team, as Jarvan does not realize he's sitting on a ward. He goes in with the flag and dragon. Commando Yi is getting burned down. This Jarvan has tons of damage right of the arcane, though. Comes out, trades back the kill, as now Guest Number might be diving in here onto K-Style Black, fears him back into the rest of his team, or I should say Terrify, because Hecarim is one of the few champions with Terrify as a CC, and there goes the kill onto Brand. Ooh, Caitlyn picks that one up with Ace in the hole from halfway across the map. She truly is a sniper, getting those double buffs back for herself just as they were about to expire. Maximum efficiency. Tornado going across the wave, trying to clear that out as best they can, but Hecarim's not too great at wave clear, at least not in a siege situation since he's melee, and so this tower's going to be falling over. There's nobody around to defend it. That thing is getting burned down very quick. 5-3 turret lead for purple team, and a 6,000 gold lead on the board, or nearly. No, well, actually, yeah, more than a 6,000 gold lead now looking at the numbers. So, less than they were before. To be fair, they were up at a 7,000 gold lead about 4 or 5 minutes ago, but that's still a little bit of a difficult wall to climb for blue team. They've got a bit of work to do before they can fully get back into this game and really get a good chance of seeing a victory screen at the end of it. But it looks like Jarvan's trying to be the carry for his team, be the carry that his team needs right now. He's got pieces of multiple items there, and all of them are high damage. But speaking of damage, Master Yi is going in onto Janna. Gets slowed up, though, and does not have Highlander to keep up the chase. Or actually, no, he does, but he didn't want to burn it there, just in case there were too many members of the enemy team to back up Janna and keep her safe. Just harassing her, making her use some cooldowns to escape, and beautiful shot. There's Right of the Arcane. One misses, one lands, and the third one, I have no idea, because the camera went back to Best Zareth, but it didn't get the kill either way, so if it did land, it was just a little bit more damage. But there's Ghost from Commando Yi, and he's over there. He's over there. Get him, Yi. He's going in. He pops Highlander. He can't be slowed. And Jarvan flag and drags away. Goes back in with Cataclysm and locks him up. Locks him up in a circle with a bunch of minions. But Guest Number, you probably shouldn't have shown up. Oh, but SU doesn't want to keep chasing, which is a little bit odd. I expected Commando Yi to keep going in there. Commando Yi does not retreat. But Commando Yi makes tactical withdrawals, however. So he did turn around and tactically withdraw from that situation, as we see Ryze and Morgana are invading in onto the enemy team's blue buff. That'll be a nice little pickup for them if they can grab that, which I'm sure they can. It's going to be going on to Shock on that Rise. Having a blue buff on a Rise is really nice. It allows him to shotgun out damage even more effectively. And Mass Chaos getting hit by the ace in the hole. Shock going to keep chasing after him. The final Q brings him down. Xerath's Q would have brought him down as well. But Rises was a little bit quicker to the punch, as now Morgana is caught out of position, feared back into her team, into the enemy team, rather, as Tristana rocket jumps over the wall to try and escape the damage from the Caitlyn. Does succeed in doing so. Snap Trap dropped to keep her from chasing, and oh, two skill shots missed. It's a legendary day here for best Xerath QA, but the final one does connect. Oh, wonderful Eye of the Storm, and dodges the Piltover. Beautifully done by the Janna, as now Commando Yi is going in onto Jarvan, trying to go for the 1v1. Jarvan does not have the burst this time to bring him down. Master Yi now has become the master and brings him down. Gets the kill back. Gets all that delicious gold into his inventory as Best Xerath tosses out the stun, and it gets dodged backwards from a very quick-moving pony, but the fact that the pony had to step backwards is as good as if the stun landed, because it means Caitlyn still gets to escape. Something that we should look at this point in the game is vision control, though that's something that should be looked at always, but I guess we will get back to it, as Guest Number is in a little bit of trouble popping his ghost to escape there. He does manage to run his way out of the jungle in time, but that is a summoner spell traded basically just for being there from the Master Yi, and red buff taken away as well on the other side of the map. Purple team is taking so many advantages right now, and blue team is losing so many of their potential advantages, as Tristana might be caught out here. The binding does not quite land. The ulti is running. Rocket jump should have gone in the other direction. The stun still lands, but there's a horse for backup. Heal pop to keep Morgana alive. Can she escape? That's the heal pop for the speed buff. Wonderful binding to hold Guest Number in place, and now the red buff is going to spell his doom. He has nowhere to go, and I think my voice just broke there because I was a little bit excited about that play. I'm sorry about that. Gotta clear my throat. Anyways, let's get back into the action, folks. Jarvan caught out in the jungle by Shock, and this is a turnaround from earlier on. However, Brand is here, and there is the Red of the Arcane bringing down Jarvan. The final shot just used to do a bit of harass back onto the Janna. Tristana does trade out the kill onto Rise for it, and Xerath is roaming into the jungle. He's in a 3v1. He gets the double kill onto the Janna as he flashes over the wall. Can he escape this? Tristana's going to be chasing through the jungle to go after him. He drops a ward just to see that nobody is chasing. Tristana has given up on that particular pursuit, realizing that Xerath is probably going to be able to kite her to death if she chased through the jungle. Decides minions are a bit of a safer option. Goes to farm those. And yeah, minions are definitely safer than trying to kill innocent Magi. Dragon getting burned down. There is a ward over the wall, though, and Hecarim sees this happening. He's roaming around the corner. There's the Q. It lands. There's the W. It doesn't, and the stun doesn't either. So, oh, he comes in. He doesn't get the smite, though. The smite war is won by Commando Yi. Now he's going to turn around. He's doing amazing burst to Guest Number, and he gets rocketed over the wall. Oh, at least Xerath is there to finish off the job. Commando Yi probably wanted that kill, but nope. Tristana says, no, I will die to your mid laner instead of you. And promptly proceeds to do so, and now Janna is way out of position here. The Monsoon and the Howling Gale, though, might keep her safe. Flash forward, the binding does not land, and the slow is tossed back as now Shock is up in top lane going in onto this Brand, who is wonderfully out of position, wonderfully at least for the Rise. Picks up another kill. He's 6-5. He's got that Seraph's on its way to stacking. He's got that Rod of Ages stacking as well, and there's the red buff from Caitlyn slowing up the Janna. She gets knocked up, though, and here's the horse for backup. Caitlyn goes down. A little bit too aggressive, a little bit too greedy. They dived too greedily, and they dived too deep, and they suffered the consequences. Or she, not they. It was only one person. As we have a little bit of a quiet moment. So what shall we talk about? I think you can guess. I think it's the builds. However, we don't have a quiet moment anymore. The stun doesn't do anything because he's charging you with a bunch of horses at his back, and that means you can't stun him, but Split all day is caught way out of position, as is Hecarim. Now up in top lane, we have Jarvan and Rise going at it, and they both decide they no longer want to go at it and walk away from one another, while both at about a third hit points. So that matchup is, again, back to being even. Mass Chaos out of position. Well, not really. It's kind of hard not to be in a position where Xerath can shoot you, and shoot you he will. He's doing a lot of damage. The stun doesn't land, but that's because he was dead. Commander Yi now going in onto Jarvan, the guy under the tower. Gets exhausted, and Jarvan flashes over the wall, so that is 2 summoners burned already. As now Xerath is looking. He gets the max range Q. Wonderfully done. As now Commander Yi is going in, and that knock-up is not really gonna matter. He's got a Rand to wins at this point, in addition to a Blade of the Ruined King and a Feral Flare stacking up. So he's going to do a lot of damage while also having hit points, which is a little bit silly, honestly. The amount of damage Master Yi can do with only a Feral Flare and a Blade of the Ruined King is kind of dumb. Just a little bit. But to be fair, he doesn't have any CC and he doesn't have very many hit points usually, though this guy's bought a Randuin's and a Ninja Tabby, so he's actually surprisingly tanky for a Master Yi. It's an interesting build, and it seems to be working out for him quite nicely. He's 8-3. Shock now going in on to guess the number with Caitlyn for backup. He's getting burned down. He's forced to ult over the wall, as now Brand's trying to make something happen here, but getting burned down almost immediately by Master Yi, who goes in with an Alpha Strike and a few more auto attacks. Ignite is dropped onto the Morgana. Will she die? She burns to death. Jarvan picking up that kill as now Commander Yi is caught out of position here, trying to get a kill back before he goes down, but he cannot manage it. Cataclysm brings him to an early grave. Jarvan picking up that kill as now Caitlyn flashes in for the auto onto Brand, and she nets away. Can she survive? Shock, you're a little bit out of position there, buddy. Ooh, best Xerath QC is godlike as all 3 shots from Ready the Arcane bring down the Tristana behind enemy lines, and now Xerath is, speaking of behind enemy lines, right back there just bringing people down. Caitlyn finishes off the horsey as Xerath fires off a Q, but doesn't quite have enough damage. Janna has her Eye of the Storm to keep herself safe. However, they'll take advantage of this advantage, which they have accrued for themselves, and push in onto the inhibitor tower in top lane. That thing's going down pretty quickly. They've got an AD carry to bring it down, and AD carries are very good at making turrets go away. Q lands onto Janna. Stun lands as well. She's getting taken down pretty quickly. The headshot is up, but the knockup is up as well, and now Caitlyn is caught a little bit out of position. Gets hit by the E. There's the Q. It does not land. He doesn't get stunned, and turns around. Ace in the hole. Gonna get blocked by Tristana. Split all day, proving the hero here, but they just have so much range. My God. So much range. Split all day, now caught out by Morgana's damage. She goes in. She really wants this, but it's not the best decision. Zhonya's under the tower, but it's just delaying the inevitable. Jarvan, the guy, picks that one up as now Knickerbird is caught out of position. Guess the number, though, is actually the one caught out of position, as Jarvan is going to go down as well in the middle lane, and there is so much action. Oh my God, I can't talk about it all the time. I can only say one thing at a time. Mass Chaos is going to be falling here. Commando Yi uses Alpha Strike to dodge out the turret shot, gets knocked back by the Monsoon. Meditate, not going to be enough to save his life. However, Right of the Arcane coming from that Xerath going to finish off the kill. A Split all day is here. Buster Shot finishes off the kill, goes in with the rocket jump, and has enough damage, brings him down. Dangerous game. Saves him, or no, just the lifesteal saves him from that final auto attack that would have taken revenge for the Xerath after death. But, thankfully, Tristana has 2 Doran's Blades, and thus a small amount of lifesteal, and managed to survive. Well done there, but I fear it's a bit too little too late. They've got an inhibitor tower down in the top lane. They've got minions pushing into them everywhere. Literally every lane is pushing against them, except for mid, which just got pushed out. However, Tristana, the one who did the pushing, proves easy prey for a Rise. Ooh, just comes up and presses a few buttons and gets the kill. Nothing too fancy, but it doesn't really have to be. Tristana going down, and Rise getting the 37th kill of the game for Purple Team to the 19 that Blue has to their name. Spell Thief's Edge used just to slow him up, but it's not going to be enough. Ooh, damn, that Rise is doing damage right now. And even now, it's not going to get any better. Shock, though, getting ulted in by the Hecarim, and there's Jarvan coming in as well. Hecarim now getting bound up, getting burnt down. He's down at half health. Shock is kiting backwards with desperate power as best as he can. Guess the number going to be chasing. Shock is so tanky, though. He's not going down. He pops the Archangels. Oh, but Jarvan does a lot of damage, and Jarvan brings him down. Rise falls in the end. However, Master Yi is here to avenge him, bringing down the Hecarim. Double kill for Jarvan. There's Right of the Arcane. Doesn't kill anyone, though, and Morgana does not quite have the damage. Now, Janna caught at 50 hit points, trying to make something happen. Has Eye of the Storm, has Monsoon, manages to knock back K-Style, and he goes into Zhonya's, but it's just delaying the inevitable once more. Jarvan, the guy, picks up that one. And, one moment, I will be right back. I left the window open and there's noise coming from outside. Terribly sorry about that. I am back again. There's the Q landing from Xerath as they push in onto the middle lane. Split all day, forced to leap away, but goes down to the red buff. Ooh. That was death by a hair. Net away from Caitlyn, and this is really grim for blue team, so they're going a little bit desperate. Jarvan goes in. The knockup does not land onto anyone, though he does some good damage to the Xerath, but Ace in the hole comes back, bringing down the Janna fairly low. Masked Chaos on that Brand is low as well, and at this point in the game, as much as I like Brand, I have to say that I question the pick, because he just does not have the mobility needed to avoid all of this poke from Xerath and from Caitlyn, and he does not have the tankiness needed to survive when Master Yi leaps in onto his face. So it's just, there's a reason why Brand is not picked up all that often, and it pains me to say, but he just is outclassed by some of the other mid laners, which do similar things to him, but do it while being a lot safer and a lot less likely to simply lose lane and die a lot. Masked Chaos now, trying to make something happen down in the bottom lane. Split all day is here with him on that Tristana, but they're being closed in on by the purple team. Caitlyn's coming around with the red buff. Here's Xerath as well. This is a very dead Brand. He turns around with the burst. He tried to bring down Shock, but he's not really able to as the exhaust on Commando Yi under the tower, stopping him from bringing any kills down as the Ace in the hole comes out, doesn't bring anybody down as now Shock is turning around onto guest a number, and Master Yi, how did he live? He was 3v1 under the tower and he managed to escape. That tanky Master Yi build really starting to work out for him there. He's got a frozen mallet on top of the Randuin's Omen, all the slows that he can possibly get in item form, aside perhaps from Frost Queen's Claim, which would be a little bit silly. These items are unorthodox, but that would just be weird. Not simply unorthodox, as the bottom lane inhibitor tower falls over, and Caitlyn is cut sort of out. She didn't get knocked up there because Jarvan did his combo backwards. I'm a little bit surprised at that. I expected him to do it forwards, but he wanted to be unorthodox, as I've been saying. And so he turns the combo around, and it ends up not really working for him. So maybe next time he'll toss the flag and then the drag rather than the other way around. Red buff getting stolen away from the enemy team by Master Yi. That's not really the most crushing blow that's happened to this game, but it's just piling on the little tiny defeats that eventually end in the big victory for purple team. And there's the stun landing onto the Caitlyn. She's being engaged upon by guested number. Commando Yi, though, going in with his ulti onto Masked Chaos, and he has nobody to peel for him. Janna shows up, gonna be trying to do that, but the knockup doesn't land. Dodged out by Alpha Strike. Well done. Now guested number is falling to the Caitlyn's damage on the other side, and that's a double kill for Master Yi. And those are 40-second death timers. This very well might be the end of the game here for blue team. Commando Yi pushing forward past the minion wave. They're going to be getting these down very quickly. Minions do not really stand much of a chance in the face of a Master Yi that is 13-6. They're going to bring that tower down very quick as well. The inhibitor going to be their next focus as he goes into meditate just to get some of those delicious hit points back. Xerath clearing out the minion wave while his team deals with the inhibitor. And this is most likely GG. They're going to turn to the top lane inhibitor just to ensure that if the game doesn't end here, they get as many advantages as possible if the game does continue on. Now they're on the Nexus turrets. They're burning those down. However, Hecarim has respawned. He's coming out of the base at 5 million miles an hour trying to get a flank going, and he is behind them, but Xerath is poking them out very well. Ooh, Brand doing some very nice damage. Despite all his disadvantages, he does have a lot of AoE teamfight power. Xerath brings down Tristana in the backline as now Jarvan brings down Morgana, but there's Ryze, and so far it is a 2-for-2 trade. Double kill going over to the Jarvan. He's still alive, but blue team is forced back onto their fountain. Both Nexus turrets lost, and Caitlyn right-clicking on their Nexus, going in with the Hecarim ulti, trying to bring her down. This is their last stand. If they do not push them back right now, if they do not manage to win this particular team fight, there's the teleport. Teleport coming in from Ryze, and he is moving at 1,000,000 miles an hour with that home guard. Masked Chaos falls over, and they're going to be chasing after guested number, which is a little bit odd. They could just go and right-click on the Nexus and win the game here, but they want more kills. They want horse meat. Shock and Jarvan are having a duel again. This time, it's a little bit different than the others. Jarvan still falls over, though, despite being on his fountain, and there's the Zhonya's, and Zhonya's with that Xerath skin looks beautiful. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. That is GG to purple team, and I will see you all tomorrow. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you'd like your replay to be featured in the series, check the description. You can figure out how to do that down there. And many thanks to Commando Yi for the use of his replay. It's very interesting to watch, and I really enjoyed a lot of the names, so I'll see you all tomorrow.